Jam. Toon Jam.
Hello and welcome to Toon Jam. I am Matt,
and I'm J-Man.
And today we are leaving behind the what did we call it? The list of underrated cartoons. Sorry, I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. So early on.
The word you were looking for, was it?
It's going to be a tough episode, guys. Yeah, we are left behind once you've done Mission Hill,
oh man,
there's no point doing any other underrated cartoons.
Yeah, we reached the peak.
Yeah, and we've already done David the Gnome, so underrated is
so
just...
what do you want from us at this point?
So today we're heading into the present, getting a fresh cartoon off the rack. And today we're talking Kid Cosmic. Kid Cosmic is an American-Canadian animated superhero streaming television series created by Craig McCracken of Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And in-house produced by Netflix Animation. We've watched a few Netflix episodes so far. Most have been pretty good. I think we may have had one shaky middle, but so far so good. So, no thumbs down as far as I'm aware. Well, this was released in this month, February the 2nd, 2021. And the show is the first of McCracken's creations to have a serialized format on his first foray into the superhero genre since having previously created Powerpuff Girls. It's illustrated in a retro 2D style, in quotation, retro 2D. I think that literally means 2D. And now people are calling 2D retro.
Is it like the screen tone kind of look to it and the
it says illustrated in a retro 2D style inspired by classic comics such as Dennis the Menace and The Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to say
maybe it's the page
style. Yeah, the style, because I think some of it might be 3D. So
yeah.
So yeah, the quotation.
So take that with a pinch of salt. It follows Kid, a young boy who gets the chance to become a superhero and fight evil aliens alongside other characters with different abilities. Good news or bad news, we'll find out. A second season is currently in the works.
Oh.
So already on that.
You heard it here last.
Yeah. So in 2009, creator Craig McCracken made a comic strip entitled Kid Cosmic, which would later be produced into this show. He didn't want to pitch it to any networks because he knew they weren't interested. That is, he just knew. The comic would eventually be shown to Francisco Angenes in 2015 and would be developed into a series by him and McCracken and his wife Lauren Faust, as the series was announced in 2018 and was set for a 2020 release. Obviously a bit late on that, but hey ho. Kraken, along with My Life as a Teenage Robot creator Robert Renzetti, serve as executive producers for the show, which marks the first time the two have collaborated on a project since Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. With the use of Toon Boom Harmony software, Mercury Filmworks provides animation services of the show in Ottawa, Canada. The company previously had done animation services for season 1 of Wander Over Yonder, which was one of McCracken's previous creations. Reception. Kid Cosmic has received generally positive reviews, with some critics praising the retro-style animation and characters, but citing uneven story plotting and lack of character development from the Kid, aka Kid Cosmic, the main character. Okay, so there's a bit of info about it. I take it you hadn't seen this before?
No.
Obviously, it's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
So memories of it are, you might have seen it on Netflix last week.
Yeah, that's my memory of it. Is it
Yeah.
came up in my Netflix as I was scrolling through. It may have even popped up beforehand because I tried to not scroll.
Yeah, yeah.
Netflix can be a bit of a hole if you scroll. So I use the list function, guys, and I recommend it to all of you out there. Use your list and only go by your list, and you will save yourself, collectively hours of time throughout the year.
See, what I like to do is go down the scroll hole,
Mhm.
add loads of stuff to my list,
Mhm.
and then never watch anything on the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, yeah. You're one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of, I know a lot of your kind.
My list is just jam packed with things.
Yeah.
It's
I've seen your list
ridiculous.
actually. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
witnessed your list. We scrolled through and there's stuff in there that you forgot you even put in there.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, I might watch that. And it's
You
probably
never
still
do.
on there.
It's more like a list of stuff you're never gonna watch. Use
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
reverse.
It's like it's like the list of stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of want to watch that, but not right now.
Yeah.
So I put it in my list so it's there.
Mm.
And then it's got to the point where my list is so long I don't want to look through it. So let's head to the Twitterverse. Is there anything on the Twitterverse? What are people saying about it?
Well, because it's pretty new, it's just a lot of kind of fresh reactions really from people. There's a lot of fan art on there, so if you like the art and you like artists, then head over there. It's just search Kid Cosmic because people are putting stuff up. But yeah, in general, seems pretty positive. It was kind of hard to find something negative on there. First of all, we've got Animation KJ says, please watch Kid Cosmic, do it for Rosa, who is the little girl that we see in episode 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's got her own little fan base going already.
Another one of these characters.
Yeah.
Hot characters straight on.
Straight
Hot
and
as in, popular, not. Should probably clear that up.
yeah, that's it. Straight away, that's how we do things at Toon Jam. It's no ambiguity there. Woofin Arts says, watching Kid Cosmic with my BF, and I think it's pretty good, but the pacing is really weird. So slightly, that's like a shaky middle there.
Okay.
That's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's good, but yeah.
I think it is.
We've got Peachy_Kings says, so the new Kid Cosmic show is absolutely fantastic, heart-wrenching and hilarious, and yet I had to find out about it from my friends and Tumblr. Oh man, because Netflix has buried it in every way possible, and then goes on to rant about how Netflix hasn't really promoted it at all.
That's pretty interesting because I'm pretty sure on release it was like the top thing on my Netflix.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it popped up as a front page. So maybe that's a regional thing wherever Peachy Kings is from. Maybe they just absolutely hate animation.
Yeah, maybe it's just a case of you're not watching enough cartoons on your Netflix, and they just don't think that you're interested.
That's it. Rate stuff on Netflix as well, everyone. Use the thumbs up, thumbs down, and but beware, don't use it too much because it kind of breaks your account, like it did mine. But that's a whole different thing. And Chairman Nom says, I think I'll continue Kid Cosmic another time because I don't like cats in danger. So apparently there's a cat in danger at some point.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Trigger warning to anyone who is upset by cats in danger. This is something that people can get very upset about. So Chairman Nom not happy with that choice of drama added to the show.
Yeah.
So that's about as negative as it gets for Kid Cosmic. Is cats in danger.
Cats in danger and the pacing that's come up obviously in reviews and also in tweets.
Yeah.
Micro reviews, we can call them. So that's interesting. We've only watched the first episode.
Yeah, so pacing wasn't really it was pretty quick going in. We got an introduction to folk, and so it didn't really slow down very much, did it, for us?
No. So I don't feel like that's something we're going to probably comment on at all. Just because I don't think it was a problem. Well, let's dig in. Kid Cosmic. First thing, it's got sort of even though it's far from Powerpuff Girls, you can see the similarities in art style.
Yeah.
And the big thing I noticed was it is like Powerpuff Girls was a pastiche on sort of Silver Age superhero things. So you've got like Batman TV series, the Spider-Man cartoons, 60s and maybe early 70s superhero media in general. Whereas this is more modern day. So straight away you've got the Infinity Stones, which are obviously massive at the moment because of the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
The Marvel Comics films, the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then it also has an element of Green Lantern to it.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've got the dying alien landing on Earth, the power rings, stuff like that. So it's sort of a crossover of the two.
Yeah.
They have superpowers, these rings, and there's like, the kid's trying to figure out the ring, which is very Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man film, where he's filming himself doing it and stuff.
Yeah.
You watch it through the camera and stuff like that. It's also like Shazam, isn't it?
Yeah.
In that sense. So it's like the current kid's superhero in a cartoon.
Yeah, it feels very like you've definitely seen those elements before, haven't you? Like even if you are new to the genre, like you've seen some version of it already before. But like it doesn't seem to like weigh it down either. It's sort of it does all the stuff it needs to do. It does pretty fast, I think. So like you get to the fun parts of him like experimenting and doing whatever like pretty quickly without being bogged down by like it's not like a full episode of just pure origin story of like
space lore.
So I found that quite nice. So pacing wise in episode 1, not bad.
Not bad, yeah. But it wasn't, because it goes through the motions pretty well.
Yeah.
Introduces the characters, introduces the premise. And the first thing I sort of thought, obviously you see the Infinity Stones, you see them. I did think like, oh, this is a bit weak, like considering Infinity War's just come out. I say just come out, in the last few years.
Yeah.
I thought to myself like, it's just too easy to just to do that. But then as it goes on, that was no longer a problem. You kind of completely forget it, and you just think, it's not the same.
Yeah. I didn't even think about Infinity War until you said it. Like I was just it was straight Green Lantern for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the alien or something. Like it just hadn't crossed my mind. Like I don't know if that's me just blanking out Infinity War for whatever reason. Just like that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, it was. It's got definite cozy kind of superhero vibes. So like if you're into that kind of stuff, you'll be right at home in 5 minutes in this show. And then like the setting is quite cool as well, because it's just a kind of dusty old town, isn't it, like with not a lot going on. So it's the complete opposite of like the
end of the line kind of Route 66 town.
It's usually when we watch a cartoon we're in New York. So this is so this is very different, very different to New York. No skyscrapers, no crime down every single alleyway. Just seems like a pretty boring town almost for the side character for Joe, the co-main character, I think. Probably.
Yeah. So I mean it's got a good range of characters. Obviously, I mean you get to know all the main characters. I think you're going to know loosely in this episode. So you've got Kid.
Yeah.
The Kid is just like a kid that loves comic books, desperately wants to be a superhero. I can associate with this kid a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like growing up, that was me.
Yeah.
And he finds these stones in the middle of nowhere at a crashed ship, biking around, takes them home. Then you've got what let's have a look. I can't remember the names. Joe.
Show, yeah.
So Joe works at a diner, desperately wants to travel, is well bored around where she is. And then Rosa, who is a little kid that just wants to play. And then they all, I mean, there's a couple of others I don't think we really met. So is it G? Grandpa G or something?
Oh yeah, is he the guy
G.
that briefly came out to see what was going on?
Yeah, so there's basically 5 stones, all with different powers.
Right.
Obviously we see where 3 of them, because they're putting together a team to defend aliens, defend from aliens, evil aliens. But Papa G is one of the guys that gets a stone.
Right.
And then the cat that he's talking to gets a stone.
Right.
So I don't know much about that. I've literally seen a poster with this on.
Yeah.
So sorry guys if I've got anything wrong there. I don't think I have. But we only see Kid, Joe, and what's her name, Rosa.
Yeah.
And we really only see Kid and Joe using their rings a lot.
Yeah.
In this episode, but they're pretty cool. I mean, they're like basic, straightforward 1 power rings, aren't they?
Yeah.
So like the kid can fly.
Yeah.
And then Joe's got a portal, which is a lot like the game Portal.
Yeah, it is actually.
So
like you do one at a time. Boop, boop.
Yeah. They fight off an alien who has like a translator box with a pretty hilarious like English voice on it. Like he sounds very angry, but he also sounds like a very friendly voice.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Yeah.
He tries to blast him with his ray gun, but doesn't really get around to it. And Joe immediately manages to like get the knack of the portal gun and manages to trap him. So it's quite good.
Yeah. I mean, so that's your basic layout is there.
Yeah.
And they're forming a team to defend from aliens, and that's basically what you see in the first episode.
Yeah.
So what were the sort of standout things about this that you noticed?
I think Kid was pretty like vibrant character, like pretty. He's sort of like, those people that are sort of almost brainwashed by the media that they can shoot. So he's just like so convinced that these things were going to work, that to the point that they did. Like, luckily, it's almost as if he willed them to happen, even though that wasn't the case. But like, he's got that sort of like innocence of like, this is how the world works, and like like nothing's going to deter me. So that makes for a pretty solid like main character as well as a hero, really. So that was quite cool. Because usually, in these situations, it's like, it's the down and out loser who like gets a nice like roll of luck, and then suddenly they're like, Tobey Maguire's buff the next morning or whatever. So it's quite different from that, in the fact that like he was always pretty much this kid by the sounds of it. He was always making trouble in the diner. And now he's just got some rings to just add on to all the madness that he's about.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was pretty fun. And yeah, I thought also, the retro 2D look as well, 2D in quotes look.
Yeah.
Was good.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. The art style and the animation as a combo were really fun to look at.
Yeah.
I think when it says retro, I really don't know what it means, like, because to me it does look a lot like Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Like, but more modern.
I think they're trying to sort of like talk about like, because there's a lot of like textures on stuff, and like there's a lot of like sort of like screen tones used, like especially in like the bits where you do see comics and stuff. So like it just kind of looks a bit more kind of like the pointillism kind of pop arty style is kind of
Yeah.
accentuated sometimes, but not all the time. Like, it doesn't always look like retro style, does it? Like, sometimes
No.
it looks kind of just like a normal
I feel like the art style itself. So and it is, and I feel is it Craig McCracken that does sort of the initial concepts for like Powerpuff Girls as well? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I believe.
So I just feel like his art style is influenced by that era.
Yeah.
And then it kind of shows in this as well. To me, that's what it feels. It doesn't really feel like it's a retro style.
Yeah, I know. Like, when it first opened, they had like, it sort of felt like there was some sort of Jamie Hewlett to there. Like, it sort of, I think it was mainly because one of the signs got a G on it, and I was like, oh, gorillas.
Yeah.
Saw a profile of a character that kind of looked a bit.
But wasn't the guy from the Gangrene Gang in the Gorillas?
He was actually, yeah. Ace was in Gorillas at one moment.
And I'm pretty sure, does he appear in this?
Does he?
Kids listening to a record.
Yeah.
Which I suppose adds to the retro feel. But on the front, it's got like, on the record is something and the gang. It's
really?
It's not the Gangrene Gang, but I'm pretty sure he's in the band.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be some. It's pretty crazy crossover that happened. So it'd be cool if it just continues. Yeah.
Just he pops up everywhere.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So yeah, maybe there's some influence in there as well. It would make sense. Like, it's not. I mean, it seems outlandish that a Powerpuff Girl character would end up in the Gorillas, but it happened. So yeah. Yeah,
and that's one of the best things. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so the soundtrack as well. Like, there's definitely some bits where like the sort of, it's got a bit of a kind of almost like a rocky kind of punk.
Yeah,
it's the kind of pop up that seems to suit the surroundings and stuff. Like, seems to suit what's going on, and then you'll get like moments of like superhero style, spectacular kind of sounds in there as well to sort of like do that. So it's fitting. It's pretty fitting for the environment. We'll probably see and hear a bit more of it as it goes on, but like for the sandy sort of very Dust Bowl kind of setting, it worked. And because Kid's mainly in like a junkyard type place, isn't he? He's playing the junk at the start, and so it all was like all fit very well. Like, I think like the overall aesthetic of it just works. Like, yeah.
And I suppose like a lot of if you're going to go into the retro stuff, it is that sort of Roswell vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's got sort of, obviously there's a lot of aliens. The aliens do look a bit sort of, well, I mean, the main alien we see has a certain, a bit of a thingy, like Mars Attacks kind of look to it.
Yeah.
So I suppose there's plenty of elements of that. Was there anything that stood out as, something that you didn't really like about this show?
I don't think so. Like, there were because it was all very quick as well. Like, it seems like a fast-paced episode because I feel like they get a lot done. Like we said already, like the introductions happen real quick, and then we're into the rings and like the aliens start attacking and stuff. It's all over very quick. So I don't think there was like a slow time where I had time to be like, this isn't great. And like all the elements put together kind of made sense. So there wasn't. I can't think of anything that I was like, no, I'm not really a fan of that. What about you?
No, a lot of mine was sort of at the start. Obviously, like I said before, sort of the Infinity Stone thing.
Yeah. Kind
of bugged me out a little bit, but then I think as it went on, I was just like, you just need to just like actually accept that that's an okay thing, and it's just you being mardy about something. Really. Because it wasn't a problem at all, and it was. I had no issues with the pacing. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I liked how they kind of turned the Infinity Stones into just sort of like junk immediately as well, by him just gluing them to some like nuts.
And that the glue is always so visible.
Yeah, like way too much use of glue.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool. A really good start. And that's the thing, I suppose, with the Netflix shows, you don't have pilots.
Yeah.
You just have the start of an ongoing thing, really. So it's pretty interesting in that respect, which is probably why they're always so strong at the start.
Yeah.
Watch first episodes, they're usually ongoing, aren't they?
Mm.
In fact, the only one that wasn't ongoing, we gave a shaky middle to. So,
All right. Maybe there's something in that.
yeah, maybe that's an interesting point. Okay, well, with that, we've discussed it. Let's go to our ratings. If you're listening to this podcast, then it's likely you'll be interested in purchasing our new retro range from Yesteryear Industries. That's right, yesteryear, retro things that you probably won't remember, but will be excited about anyway. Take our new collection of MP3s.
Whoa, mister, what's an MP3?
An MP3 is a digital file that contains an audio track. In this case, it's indie rock.
Whoa, I love indie rock. It's so old.
You're gonna need a media player for that one, son. And while you're at it, why don't you check out these Blu-rays?
Huh?
That's right. They're discs that you put into a Blu-ray player and they play films.
You use a disc to play a film?
That's right. No streaming here, sonny.
I just don't understand, mister.
Hey, what's that you're wearing on your legs? They look pretty new. You look like you could do with a retro-styled skinny jean.
But I like my jeans fat.
Oh, no, no, no. The retro way was all about the skinny jeans. Try them on. They fit snug as a bug in a rug.
I can't feel my pelvis.
How do you get around, son?
I like to walk.
Walking is so modern. Why don't you try the old-fashioned way with our new retro petrol cars?
What's petrols?
It's something that's horrific for the environment and will likely kill us all one day, but oh boy does it get you around.
This is fast, and it smells real good.
Breathe it in, sonny, breathe it in. And then, once you're done driving around and ruining the air, why don't you try these? These are real blasts from the past. They're avocados.
Ashimagos?
No, no, no. Avocados. Why don't you ask your dad about the smashed avo? That was a big thing back in the day.
Whoa, smashed avo. That sounds lame.
Oh boy, was it. That's right. The new retro range from Yesteryear Industries. Try it now. Yesteryear. Yesterday, today. Okay, so here at Toon Jam, we have a 3-point rating system that goes as follows. Thumbs up, you're a superhero, baby. Thumbs down, you ordered too much trout. It's a bit of an in-joke. If you watched the episode, you might get that one. And shaky middle, my use of in-jokes without priorly mentioning the joke itself. So, I've forgotten the name of the show.
Kid Cosmic.
Kid Cosmic. Kid Cosmic Kid. Kid Cosmic. Your thoughts?
Yes. Well, it was nice to have a retro 2D style show to check out. It looks really nice. Animation's like really smooth and fun, and like it's just like a joy to. You could watch it in you watch it on mute and still have a pretty good time. Like it looks pretty nifty. And like the characters are pretty solid as well. I mean, it's purposefully like treading on very walked on ground, but it still seems to like the credits roll and you're not like, well, I've seen all that before. I mean, you have, but it's still satisfying to watch, and like it's still taking an original spin on the genre. Like the kid was likable, Joe was likable, like And I think like, you know, the humor's pretty solid as well, as you'd probably
Mm.
expect from like Craig McCracken. So I mean, like overall there isn't anything that I didn't really like about it. So it would be a travesty to not give it a thumbs up from me.
A thumbs up. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. There's so much good stuff to it, and I mean, literally, my review would just be stomping over what you've just said, exactly the same. I think it's also really cool that we get to see sort of these. Obviously, you know, when we started this, it was all about the 90s. We only did 90s cartoons, really, and it was just stuff we grew up with. And obviously, this comes from sort of the creator of Powerpuff Girls, which is one of those shows. And we've talked about, you know, like a lot of the Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. Obviously, this is sort of from that Cartoon Network wheelhouse. And it's cool to see things like this. And, you know, like when we see Genndy Tartakovsky's new stuff and just seeing where they've gone from that. And you can always see the sort of that nugget of similarity from that, but you can see it evolve so much, and not just within their own style, but with the times. Which is actually very impressive, you know. And these people probably don't get the credit they deserve because of the medium, or maybe they do, but only in their own circles and within the animation scene. But yeah, it's a great show, and I say it often, I will watch more.
Well,
I think I actually will this time.
I think I will this time as well. This is the one. This is the one that does it.
This is the one.
I
mean, I'm yet to make my way through David the Gnome.
But you know, there's heartbreak there, and
that put me off a little bit, and I am waiting till David the Gnome Jam. Because I kind of want to go through it as we do every single episode.
That's it.
Get ready, guys. Threatening it. Okay, well, 2 thumbs up. Great show. Check it out, guys. What more can we say?
That's it. But yeah, I definitely think you're right in the fact that, like, I think it's really good that it's not just a rehash of something that's been done before. That you know, the creator's gone and we've got a new series out of this. Like, I definitely support that, as opposed to just like, could have easily just you know regurgitated like another 5 episodes of Powerpuff Girls out or whatever. Like, and you know, I'm sure there would have been plenty of people that would have been happy enough with it, but to have like another original series, that's something I think we all need.
I think we all need it now.
We all need it.
So there we go. 2 thumbs up. Win-win. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. What did you think at home? You can let us know on the 3 broken and sad infinity stones of the internet, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at ToonJamPod. Let us know what you thought, your opinions. Maybe you didn't agree with us. Maybe you're like, that was the most retro thing I've ever seen, you buffoons. Tell us about it. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to rate and review us on whatever you listen to. It really helps us out. It takes 2 seconds and gets new people to find us as well. Otherwise, you can go over to our Patreon, where we've got loads of bonus episodes for a little injection of Cashamundo. Not too much, don't worry, but it just helps us keep the lights on, helps us keep going, and it really helps us out. So thank you for those that have already donated, and anyone that's interested, you can find us at patreon.com/ToonJamPod. Otherwise, all there is to say is thank you for listening, and until next time, as always, you stay jammy.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening. If you want to help the show keep going, you can be extra jammy by heading over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/ToonJamPod. Here you can get a shout out on the show or unlock bonus episodes. Ratings and reviews anywhere you listen to the podcast also really help us out. So thank you, and stay jammy.